Thank you, ma. So I'd like to ask a question. Of course, you've led women, in your church, at Deeper Life, Bible Church, and all of that. And you've led women who are in career as well. So, what would you say are some key challenges that women face in their career, and what would you suggest, or what would you advise on how to overcome it, especially for the young professionals?
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, we live in a male-dominated world. You see what is happening to Natasha. That is a common thing in the society. I'm telling you the gospel truth. For any Christian woman to succeed and still make it to heaven, you must focus on Jesus and your faith. Because most things happen for you to give in your flesh to these so-called superior officers, men. Somehow the devil just puts them there, and they see you as the most beautiful, but they are just, they don't have Christ. So you have to be determined. You have to be determined as a young woman in faith. Once your husband agrees that you should go and work, be ready to face that thing Natasha is saying. It's not new. Do you understand? It's just that she felt so bad because of the oppression of not sitting in a particular place. It's not her first time of going through such a thing. It's for you as a child of God. Yes, advances have been made to me, myself, and even before we started the work, when we are enlisted, we'll be made to stay in the hotels for about, just to make you to know that the Navy is beautiful, about 6 months. I never stayed there one day. Why? The first day I got there, notes were already on my door by some senior officers to meet them somewhere.
Wow.
So I had to tell the hotelier, look,
Wow.
do me a favor. We are going to share this money into two. I'm not going to stay one day in this place. And that was
To avoid the temptation.
that was it. So each time I came and peeped, and you will see piles of this thing, I will just shred it. And when I go to work, Ogunaya, what happened? Oh, you were not in your hotel. I said, sir, I was so very busy. I was very busy. I was not around. My grandmother's house is at Agege, and I had to go. We just say, and that is true. I was staying with her. So I said, I said, I bet yourself to stay here. I just wanted to come and greet you. I said, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate. So women, leavers, we have to make our stance known. Once you make your stand known, and they make those approaches, and you stand your ground that God will not like it, then it becomes something. You have carved a niche for yourself, but they will keep hammering. The challenges they are facing while trying to balance their spiritual life, career advancement, and societal expectation is very big. But to balance it, their faith with their family, with their career, is for them to often prioritize their family over their career. Your family, when your family is happy, when you have a supportive husband, don't say because you're a career woman, you need the support of your family. You need the support of your husband in particular. And he must be the first after God in your life. Honor him no matter how it is, because there will be criticism, people will talk. You must make sure you balance. Once your husband is on your side and is a believer, you can make it to the top. And then these biases of workplace, just make sure you are competent. Work very hard, work with integrity, diligence, competence. Don't give anybody the opportunity to say you came late. I never came late for that.
Mm, mm, mm.
I told anybody
Self-discipline.
I took my child to the hospital, and that is why this, and be guided. Like I said, your spiritual identity matters. Be guided by the Spirit of God and the scriptures. Stand true to your faith and your principles, and you will find that make it. With God's guidance, decision making will be good, and you will be able to trust God to open doors for you. And don't be afraid. Low self-esteem is another thing. They must not have low self-esteem. You must have a high self-esteem of yourself, because you have a great one in you. That is Christ. So you should be walking not with pride, but humility. But then people will know that this lady has, and it's like she has something every other person does not have. Ever smiling, ever happy, and yet uncompromising. Face persecution in workplace, it is common. Do you know that I was on major rank for 9 solid years for not doing anything wrong?
Wow.
9 solid,
Wow.
and they will see
Without
me
promotion.
without promotion. And I was always smiling. One fateful day, we normally have morning parade. One fateful day, I got there. I saw one senior officer. He greeted me. He said, come here, Ogbonnaya. Why are you always laughing? I will make you sad. Exactly that. So I
Wow.
smiled again. I said, sir, you don't understand. You see, this my smile and happiness is from within. It's not, I'm not making it up. So I have that peace of mind. He said, bet me. I was sad. I said, sir, that is not possible because of the one that dwells in me. He said, you have started this, your church issue. I said, no, sir. Good morning, sir. He said, okay. Do you know that man got into trouble 6 months after? He got into the military trouble and was retired. And because I just told him
Wow.
it's my problem. So you face
Wow.
persecution and God is always with you. Make sure you are right to every challenge. When a challenge comes your way, just say that short prayer. If it's sudden, Holy Spirit lead, and God will lead you. And make sure you improve yourself professionally. And by the grace of God, you'll make it to the end with unwavering faith and wisdom from God. But
Wow.
you must be prayerful.
Wow. Wow. There's just so much, that you are saying, that we can learn from, that we can glean from. And I'm hoping that our listeners, are learning a lot from this already. I'm just going to ask a question, then we'll take a short break, if that's okay. I'm just going to ask a question. You trained so many officers, why in the Navy. I think at some point you were leading the training department or something, the
Yes.
Nigerian Navy at some point. What key principles guided your training methods? What principles guided your training methods, why you were in the Navy? I know you still speak now, you do presentations and all of that, you train people. What will you say are what are the principles that guide your training methods?
Oh, thank you so much. Training in the Nigerian Navy is a very beautiful one, a tough task. And by the way, I was in the training and education department because after my first degree, I just looked. I was supposed to be in supplies, accounts, because of my economics. But during the training, one of my uncle's friend saw me and said, "Ah, Esther, you are here. Welcome. I'm going to take you. You will help me massage figures." Massage figures.
Really?
I'm telling you. From the day one of joining the military, immediately I had to go to my CI, the the chief instructor, and I told him, "Please, I want to change to training and education." He said, "But why? Why are you doing this?" The man was from India. He said, "No, you don't do that." I said, "Sir," he said, "Do you know that you need to have a postgraduate diploma in education and all that?" I said, "Sir, I will do it." He said, "But why?" They gave me about a month to go and think. And my
To
colleagues were
think
saying,
about it.
"Esther, you're a crazy girl. Where there is money, you just woke up one day and said," because I didn't tell them what the person said to me. But I said no. And that's why I had to go to Unilag. I finished from Unifair. I had to go to Unilag for my PGDE and then went into education proper, library and information science. Masters, I did PGDE in Unilag, went to UI, did that. And so I was just okay. So when I asked for conversion, I was given. And it was a great privilege training people, and I enjoyed it because I didn't have to massage any figure for anybody. Yours is to give me the money, I will use for the training. I'm not to give you money, because if you're an account officer, you are to disburse, you are to do this. They say, "Oh, Bonaya, bring this," or the girlfriend comes, "Give me this," and put it in the envelope. I will. So I had that peace of mind. And these are the principles that I really stood by. And one, I believe in practical hands-on learning. So I made sure all the officers and men that passed through me, we had all the equipment, we had everything. Where if it's language school, we had everything that you need to be able to learn that language properly. And I was always in the class too. I would just breeze into the class and see that you are doing what you are supposed to do. I was very disciplined. Time was not something you can compromise with me. If you are in my school, you must keep to time. Even ordinary
Even till now.
I was already here by nine. Studying Caleb. I said, "My friend."
I recall some of our appointments with you then. Once you say 3 o'clock, by 3 o'clock, I'll just see the car. I know that you're already around.
Yeah, so training in the military must reflect the order and discipline and structure. We have structure in the military. So you standardize training protocols. That was what I did, and ensure consistency. Very consistent. All the staff I are always there. Not I will get to the, early morning we do parade to count around and everything before the day starts. Before you hoist the flag, we make sure all the civilian instructors are already there, and I also employ the culture of accountability. We had a lot of dockets and everything. When students go to pick, you return it at the right time. I too will give account of anyone that I pick, and I also emphasize this issue of focus on what you came for. No frivolity. You adapt. At times you find out that in the midst of maybe a training period, we need to do parade. Maybe one senior officer is passing out, and most of the time they are going to use the trainees to do the passing out parade, which then means we will adapt. We will adapt. So all those parade period in the evening, because the trainees are always on board, you will have to wait after the school is closed for us to make sure we get everything. And I make sure that all their instructional documents, they are always updated. I challenge them and I challenge myself. I make sure that the teachers, they are people that are very, very, very considerate. Because you see, my leadership and mentorship pattern is very important. Because in leadership, training is not just about technical skills. Training is about
True.
leaders, developing leaders. So I emphasized the principle of developing them in leadership. This aspect of training will develop the officers and give them higher responsibility. There's this peer mentorship. I pair them up with other officers that are my instructors. I have civilian instructors and military instructors, so they can mentor them. Where, at times they may have problems, emotional problems. Some of them are married. So you have to, in as much as you want to be firm, you have to have empathy. I made sure myself have this emotional intelligence to be able to fish out the problem this person is having, because we have tests almost every week. So if there is a kind of failure or this person's grade is going down, then we must probe into it and see how we can build you up. Most times they refer them to me. So I chat them up and I'm able to know the problem. Though I will not divulge it to the instructors, but I will work with it and make sure that they all excel, that kind of a thing. And communication is very important. My instructors are trained in communication skills, especially active listening. If you are a leader and you don't have active listening, you will miss out some things. When communicating, you should be able to get a feedback, even from the face. Just the body language of the students, you should know, this one has a problem. There's something wrong. Then later you can call the person. So with all that put in place and being aware that the military is a disciplined place, we are able to just make sure we communicate well, empathize, and keep to integrity. If you didn't do well, you did not do well. And we try our best to make sure that you do well. Nobody will be giving you scores for what you did not do. So we apply integrity. So we integrate ethics with instructional training, and really helped.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ma. I think we're going to pause here. I'll be right back for the second part of this interview with Commodore Esther Ogbunaya, retired. And there is still so much that we are yet to glean from her. I'm still going to ask more questions. Please stay tuned, and then we'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you very much.